Welcome to Jill on Money, powered by The Compound. I'm Jill Schlesinger, and I'm joined by my executive producer extraordinaire, Mark Talercio.
What? I'm back?
You're back!
Back from the dead?
You're back on the island of Manhattan after hibernating in Brooklyn.
It's been almost 2 full months, but you dragged me back.
I know. I'm sorry. A little bit early. Hey, the reason I'm dragging you back is that we got incredible amounts of notes and interest from people who were kind of psyched about some of the topics we did little shorties on. And one of them was about pensions. So I did a little bit of homework in advance of this. I know that that's shocking to you. I'm not the big researcher when it comes to these programs, but I looked up and I said, what percentage of U.S. employees have access to a pension? Do you know the answer, Mark Talercio?
I'm going to say an actual defined benefit pension?
Yeah.
20%.
That is so close. It's 19 and change. So you're right on. And, just to remind everybody that pensions or defined benefit plans, very different than a 401k. Yeah, you do contribute to it, but all of a sudden the onus of a pension, the investing, and the monthly income is on the sponsor, the plan sponsor. It's a huge difference. If you don't have to worry about, well, how's my stream of income going to actually be invested? It's such a relief not to have that. So people who have pensions, people who are municipal workers, government workers, private workers who have pensions, they're so lucky. Mark, it's been true that I have said that I have pension envy.
Yeah, pensions are great. But as I was saying before we hit the record button, everybody has a pension. Well,
No.
I shouldn't say everybody. Almost everybody, especially anybody in the workforce, they have a pension.
What?
Yes.
You just said 20%.
Yeah, that's like the old school pension that you're thinking of, the defined benefit. But what people don't think about, what they don't consider is social security. That's your pension.
It's weird that you put it in those terms because you're right. Because Social Security is, I know, totally misunderstood, but the reality is it is a stream of income in the future and it's inflation adjusted. So there's great value to that. So we're going to do more of a conversation around Social Security. But back to the pension, one of the biggest questions that we always get is people are ready to retire and they're like, should I take the monthly pension amount or should I take a lump sum? And I think what's really interesting is that somehow people have been convinced by the financial services industry, take a lump sum, you'll invest it better and make more money. And I would say that 90% of the time, when we look at people's defined benefit pension plans, we say, take the stream of income, right?
More times than not, yes. I mean, I know it depends on a case-by-case basis, but like you said when you first started, I would be very, very hesitant to roll that lump sum of money out of the pension plan. And then all the responsibility is on you. No matter what's going on in the economy, the market is down, we're in a recession, then you're on the hook. If you leave that money where it is, the employer is on the hook no matter what's going on in the economy.
Now, there is a bit of risk with a pension, though. And the risk is not so much with the government, not so much with the city, but if it's a private pension, if the company goes broke, like there was a situation years ago when one of the big airlines, the pilots union, had a pension. It was a self-funded pension. And the pension plan and the company went broke and people were entitled to just what the Pension Guarantee Benefit Corporation was there for. So, these pilots who were thinking they were going to have $150,000 a year for the rest of their lives got $45,000 a year. So how important do you think it is for people to pay attention to who the pension is through?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, that's perhaps the biggest factor.
Yeah. And so many of these pensions, how they're a good deal for the employee? Because so many companies shut them down.
Right.
So when you want to know, is this a good deal or not? If they're trying to shut it down, it's probably a good deal for you.
But I wouldn't make every decision based around the pension. I left the pension. I could have stayed where I was and had a very, very nice pension later on in life. But, I had to weigh all the variables and I left it. And that was a decision I'm fine with.
Well, the other piece about a pension that you have to recognize is if you are working for a government or a municipality, you're a teacher, one of the things I do try to say is that you're not going to make as high a salary as you would in the private sector. There's no doubt. but that pension is worth a lot.
That's the payoff.
That's the payoff.
Yeah,
and so if you can hack it and stay in the system and it's worth it and you're doing okay, then I think a pension can be great. The other thing that's so great, we have so many people who listen to us and watch us who are from the military. How many times have we talked to someone from the military who's like, I got 20 years in, I have a pension, and now I can do a big time career shift.
Yep.
That's awesome.
That gives you the flexibility, the security to try a career shift, knowing that you have that steady stream of income coming in. It's a huge help.
The thing that I've learned is, my mother used to say, it's just as easy to marry a rich one as a poor one. I've shifted that. Isn't it just as easy to find someone with a pension than not? I mean,
I didn't
find
do that.
someone. You didn't do that.
I didn't do that. Did you?
No. Although I think Jackie had an old-time pension plan at one of the investment banks that she worked at a long time ago. And I remember they shut it down. They turned it into a cash balance plan. Mm-hmm. And by the way, if you do have that situation where you are converted to a cash balance plan, if it's sitting someplace in that old company, make sure that it's generating some sort of interest. Some of those cash balance plans, they have to be moved quickly.
Yeah.
That you should roll over. So if you have an old-time pension plan that is no longer going to pay out, you can roll it over, usually, into an IRA rollover or into your current retirement account through your employer. And what we really want to make sure people don't do is just take the money.
Mm-mm.
Take that money. You're going to be paying
penalties.
Those taxes and those penalties. All in all, I love a pension. I don't have one. If you have one and you have a question about how to take it, is there a choice about when you can take it? If you are thinking about a different job, one has a pension, one does not. We can try to equalize this. We were talking about this before we went on the air, and sometimes when you think about the numbers, you say, oh, it's just a few $1,000s a month. A few $1,000s a month, it's like having someone plop a lump sum of $1 million into a retirement plan right now, and that's worth a lot.
Well, I think as I mentioned, I guess we'll talk about this in another episode, but Social Security provides that benefit to almost a lot of us. Let's just leave it at that. A lot of us.
All right, we're going to get to that next time. So listen, thanks so much for watching. If you have a question about a pension, a job, something that's cooking in your life, in your retirement, do not hesitate to leave a comment to us right here or go to our website, jillonmoney.com, and hit the Contact Us button. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you next time.